Hello and welcome back to episode 9 of the Studio C Fun Show.
All right, what's up, guys? It's the one and only Kid Vicious. I just want to let you know, barbecue. Our guest will be joining us once I get home.
Alright,
Your- Why is your camera? Is your camera showing on Twitch? Because it's off Discord.
that's Sean.
Oh, okay.
Alright, we got a bit of a short show. I had a busy couple of days, so I wasn't able to get as many um, topics as I wanted to. We actually got 4 topics. Alright, first up, Batman will get his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He's the first superhero to get a star on the Walk of Fame. I can't hear you.
You can hear me?
No, not very well. Wait, talk.
Hello?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Maybe my finger was over the speaker. I don't know. But yeah, Batman. You and Phil know how I feel about these fake superheroes, him and Iron Man. They're fake superheroes. They're rich guys in a suit that they paid money with.
And at least with Iron Man, his arc reactor is which is a part of him. He's actually technically part mechanical. So
But I mean, why does it have to be? Like I said, why does it have to be a DC character? Why can't it be a Marvel character? I don't.
I don't know. It was probably whoever like was. I don't know how that works. I know the star has to pay like $30,000 or something to get it built, and then they have to like pay for monthly maintenance. So whoever's doing all that, I don't know. I guess whoever thought of it. I guess DC thought of it first. But yeah, why couldn't it have been a better superhero like Iron Man, the best superhero in the MCU?
But like that's interesting. A character on the Walk of Fame. That is That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know.
So who's gonna dress up as Batman to take a picture with the star?
I don't know how that'll work. I think that the ceremony might be next week.
I,
Honestly, it might be whoever's playing him now. I cannot remember his name. Um,
I call him the guy from Twilight.
yeah, it might be him. And then I think it would be cool if they had like all the previous Batman like um uh Michael Keaton, if Michael Keaton showed up, and let's see, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, all those people showed up, um because technically they are Batman too. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of mixed about this. I Batman's an okay character. The Batman was kind of overhyped in my opinion. Um, all the other Batman movies, especially the Nolan trilogy, that one was good. Uh, but I don't know how I feel about I feel like this is the start of more characters being on the Walk of Fame, and then there will end up being more characters than actual people on the Walk of Fame.
I wonder who's gonna be the first super villain on there. Hopefully it's the Joker. But yeah, hopefully it's the. I mean, I hope not because that's so like that would be so pointless if it's more characters like they're basically cartoon characters because they're not alive. So I mean,
They're comic characters. They're not cartoon characters. They're comic characters.
that's not, yeah, comic
But
characters.
yeah, I don't.
But
So I'm kind of mixed about that. Like,
I feel like they should have a separate walk of. I feel like they should have actual people
yeah,
like because like these are
I'm mixed.
characters.
On one hand, I think it's great that they're adding notable characters like Batman, but I mean, give them their credit, sure, but at the same time, I feel like the Hollywood Walk of Fame should be reserved for actual humans and or like yeah, actual humans. All right, next up. So PlayStation announced that for their 30th anniversary, they're gonna make a PlayStation PS5 Pro that looks like a PS1.
How they trying to get their
I mean, doesn't look terrible. The controller looks amazing. Um,
oh,
I'm still not gonna buy the
I mean,
PS5 Pro. Yeah, they got a PS5, PS5 Pro, both controllers, and and a
like they
their
just paid
handheld.
$700. That game is. I would. There is nothing they can do to make me buy that system. Wait, hold up. What I sent y'all in the group chat was that for the Pro or was that for the six that I sent y'all about to having the ability to go backwards and play games from other systems?
I have no idea. I can't remember.
I hope that it was one of them, but like that'll be the only reason I would touch if it's off the Pro. That'll be the only reason I would get the Pro, just so I could play. Just so I don't have to pay all that money to get to play old games on the regular PS5. Cause you gotta buy everything separate. I mean, it looks nice. Don't get me wrong. The PS1 design looks nice, but I mean, I'm sorry, that is a lot of money. And
Yeah,
you can get that same type of controller with the regular PS5. They already have that controller out.
still not gonna get it. Still can't convince me to spend that money on that. I saw it side by side between the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, and the graphics aren't even that improved.
Oh,
So I don't know. I just I'm mad about it. All right. Next up, Pro Era 2025. I saw um a little bit of this. So what Pro Era is basically a VR version of Madden, except you're a quarterback. You're not anything else. You have to play as a quarterback. Um, I want to get this. Oh, it's only on MetaQuest 3. Never mind. Can't get this. Um, it is a game that I would get. It looks fun. Graphics are as good as graphics you can get on VR. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like you can run it better. And there's just better mechanics. Pro Era 2 was really good too. Um, I just like the oh, and you can do practices in this one too. Looks like so. Yeah, it's something I would get eventually. Just probably not right now. So I'm assuming it's gonna be like Madden, where they're gonna come out with a new version every year. Where so we got Pro Era 2025, so the next year we'll probably get 26, so on and so forth. I think it's a great concept with VR and stuff like that getting a little more popular. But all right, well, guess we wait. Guess we wait for now until he comes back. Get his thoughts on Pro Era 2025. Oh, I didn't talk about that too. All right. Well, while we wait, I guess have some candy. Why does my nose always itch? Two things I need to talk about. He coming back? Just left. I don't know why I have different scenes, but
Can you hear me?
yep. All right. I actually found two more things we can talk about. So, The
Oh,
Chosen.
bro, I got some stuff to say. I got some
About
stuff to
what?
say about
Oh, pro era.
the VR thing. Yeah. Bro, I just want to say I'm gonna be that person if I do get that to be actually falling on the ground when I get sacked. Like just to make it funny. I'll literally fall on the ground just to
And then you're
get
gonna break your
sacked.
headset, and then that's like $300 down the drain.
Bro, you gotta make it realistic. If I get sacked, I gotta fall. You get sacked, you fall.
Do you have to?
Yes. Unless you want to do a statue
Hey,
like Matt Ryan,
you do what you want
sit there
with
and
your
just take
$300 device that's strapped to your face. You do what you
that's
want
what
with
I'm gonna
that.
do. I'll legit do that. And I'll be calling out the plays too. Like I'll be that crazy guy calling out the plays too while I'm playing. I'll be calling out the plays. Like, create, you're on the wrong side. Over here.
Hey,
Oh shit.
all I'm saying is I'm glad I don't have to live with you.
Wow. Miss Dana enjoys my antics. She enjoys them very much.
She tolerates your antics.
That's a good way to describe it. Yeah.
All right. Next up, the Chosen series about the life of Jesus Christ will be turning into a cinematic universe. There will be a Joseph limited series, a 3-season Moses series, an Acts of the Apostles series, and a Jesus animated series that follows Jesus and interactions with children in the wild, starring Paul Walter.
So is this gonna be like animated or just like actual people?
One will be animated, which
Okay.
I mean I understand, but I don't think everything has to be a cinematic universe. I
I
feel
mean,
like
they already did this before. They did this with the Bible series when they had that show. They did it with that. Did this with that, except it wasn't animated.
I
And
feel
why
like
Yeah,
three
but they're
seasons for
just
one
trying
character?
to They're just still trying to connect on the whole idea with Marvel and all the things that they're doing, 'cause, you know, with the MCU and all the TV shows and stuff. So they're just people are trying to use that formula no matter what the genre is, really.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this would probably be the best way of using it because technically they all are connected. I really like the
Hmm.
Jesus animated series with so it gets children more involved with Jesus, and they can show it in churches and stuff like that. I like that idea.
Yeah. I mean, I like that idea because now, I mean, now you can show more stuff. You don't always gotta show like Veggie Tales or something. That's the only one I ever seen for kids in church. It's Veggie Tales.
Oh, VeggieTales.
But why 3 seasons for one character though? Like, is he a big part of the Bible or something?
Moses had a big story
Yeah,
in the
Moses
Bible.
had,
Oh,
I think, one of the biggest stories in the Bible. Cause
Hmm.
yeah,
If you take like his whole life from like the whole thing of when he was the baby boy and had to be put in the river to be saved, and like his life when he was in
oh, that
Egypt, and then
guy.
like when he escaped Egypt and the Red Sea and all that, he has a lot in his story.
Oh, I know that guy.
I would hope so.
I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. I was that little kid, and still sometimes now that the grandma was hit on the shoulder for falling asleep. So yeah, I be having to make sure I be having to relearn stuff a lot.
All right, next up, so big news for the people who like watching movies in the theater. AMC, Regal, and other large theater chains plan to do a $2.2 billion upgrade to all their theaters. It improves sound, projection, seating, dining experiences. Some theaters will add pickleball, zip lines, and even bowling alleys.
Well, they probably have that at Atlantic Station. They're not gonna have
Most
it
likely,
at the
yeah.
Regal down here. It's gonna be at Atlantic Station. Goodness. But yeah, finally, I'm tired of sitting those horrible seats at Regal. I hate those seats. It is my favorite movie theater, though. They treat you like family, except when they make you wait a long time for hot food. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a ploy to get more people back in the theaters, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It's a
I
marketing thing.
oh, go ahead.
Noticing it's a marketing move to because I think I saw it said they're gonna have like some will have pickleball courts and stuff. So it's kind of that uh eat, play, entertain thing that a lot of places are trying to do. So I like the idea of it, but I'll be interested to see how much it's going to cost now to go to a movie if they add all those things in.
Yeah, because at our movie theater down here at Regal, it's a lot of money after the what do you call it? What's the name? The little discounted price point or something.
Oh, the Crown rewards. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you don't do that, it's like I think my last movie ticket was like almost $30, I think.
Yeah, there are
Yeah, so
expensive.
it'll be interesting to see how well that goes. When AMC revamps their theaters, so like the new seats and stuff, that seem to go, over pretty well. And when they remodel, 'cause like the AMC, like up the road, they did a lot of upgrades that made the theater more appealing. So hopefully
Yeah,
Regal will
man,
catch on to
maybe
that and do some things.
I mean Regal, our Regal has a arcade in it. I mean, People don't really use it, but it has an arcade in there. I mean, because that AMC up the road has a bar in it. Maybe they might throw a bar in the one down here. I don't know.
I think it's a great idea. I like going to the movies. Um, some movies it's just not necessary though. Like, I wouldn't watch like an animated movie in the theaters because if you're going to the theaters, you want to see like live action in my
I
opinion.
mean, it depends on what the animated movie is for me. Most of the stuff I go see is live action.
But I actually
I
heard,
mean, if I want to see it in the theater, I'll go see it.
yeah. Last thing I
Animated,
saw,
live action.
I mean,
was Deadpool Wolverine.
yeah, but you have to see that in the movie theater. It just, I feel like that's a movie you gotta see in the theater. It's
Yeah,
just a different vibe to it. Like it gives a movie theater vibe. Even though Miss Dean was just sitting there, Camera, what is this? I said, it's Deadpool,
Oh
right?
man,
Because he
I mean,
was like, admit some of that stuff was out of pocket, like really out of pocket. But it's Deadpool.
yeah, it was. It was Deadpool. It was.
It was like, oh
Deadpool and the
no,
guy with forks for hands.
oh wow, don't
Oh
disrespect
wow,
Wolverine like that.
we're gonna do Wolverine
Don't
like that.
disrespect.
Wow.
He
Don't
is.
disrespect the
Ooh.
greatest mutant of all time. He's the greatest mutant of all
I was
time.
never a fan. I'm just gonna say that.
That's literally the first
I
I
was
I
never a
superhero
wouldn't say
movie.
fan.
that, but
I was never a fan of X-Men in general. Those movies were always boring to me.
what? Did you watch X-Men '97?
No, I didn't watch that. But
I mean, he kind of.
Oh my
I mean, he
God.
kind of Christian kind of looks like Cyclops if you think about it. If you
oh
put
my
those little
gosh,
things on it, Christian, he looks like Cyclops.
no. You say
And
I
if you
look
take
like
away the
everyone.
facial hair,
You say I look like
bro,
yeah, I look like
you look like
what's his name?
Eli Manning,
Yeah, him.
Cyclops. Who else have I said you look like? Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory at one point.
He has black
You
hair.
do look like Eli. You do look like Eli Manning, though. You do. I see it. I can see it.
Moving on.
Yeah, I need you to go and watch X-Men '97. Barbecue, I think you would definitely appreciate X-Men '97. Um,
I need to
because when I was a kid,
rewatch.
I grew up on that original cartoon. So
Yeah, I need to
I think
rewatch all the X-Men in general because I watched last time I watched the X-Men was whenever I was a kid and just wasn't interested. I know one I really liked was X-Men Origins Wolverine. That one was good. Um, the way they did Deadpool in that one was
yeah, he miraculously is alive again.
yeah, that one was
His
weird.
head got cut off.
But I did hear a theory that Headpool from Deadpool and Wolverine was Deadpool. So I guess they kind of connected it. That's a theory though. Um, but yeah, I need to rewatch those movies.
I think you should.
Yeah, and the cartoon. You would appreciate the cartoon.
Yeah, cartoon. I'm not big on cartoons, but I'll give it a try.
But I'll say like the X-Men, when the original animated series came back, like I said, came out when I was a kid, like that was something that was just like a spot on superhero, like it was like a TV drama with action and everything, like but geared towards comic people. Like the whole thing with Wolverine, Jean Grey, and Cyclops, like that was in the show, and then Professor Xavier trying to keep everybody together, and all the Magneto issues, all that was in the cartoon. So when they made '97, um, it really still picked up on that, and it told you like a lot more in the storylines. So, like you got to see a lot more with Gambit. Gambit's my favorite X-Men, but it was interesting to see how they still tied that in. And I mean, it's good. You should watch it. You really should.
I'll give it a
Oh,
try.
oh, also Barbecue Miss Dean said that Gambit's character in Deadpool was overdoing it. She said his Cajun accent was going too far. She said that he was really overdoing it. And I will say this, I really liked his accent. And you know what's funny? I seen what she meant when she said that because I was helping this customer at work who actually had a Cajun accent and it wasn't that thick. It sounded more authentic than that version of it. But I was like, Miss Dean, it still sounded cool. Like, yeah.
I think it was more for a comedic factor. Feel like
Yeah,
that was added for more comedic factor more than
for comedy purposes,
yeah.
because I was like,
And, and you want to know one thing? I haven't talked to any Northerners, but they'll probably try to say they didn't understand nothing he said. He said, they like to say people from down south they can't understand what we're saying.
well, I mean, sometimes people from the bayou, people from the south don't know what they're saying. Sometimes.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you,
I
when I go
mean,
up
I
north,
feel
a
like it
lot
was
of
like.
people are surprised that I don't have a southern accent.
Yeah, you really don't have an accent. If we're really comparing accent, I have the best accent on the show. Thank you very much. You wouldn't sound all city like.
City like.
Yeah.
I sure. I don't know how to react to that.
I know
Um,
y'all already talked about this, but I just wanted to kind of add my, because I didn't get to talk about the Hollywood Walk of
yeah,
Fame thing. There are already a lot of fictional characters on the Hollywood Walk of Fame,
there are.
not just Batman. Like Mickey Mouse, Big Bird, Bugs Bunny. It's a lot of those cartoon characters that are on there. Kermit the Frog. Um, so they have done it before. I think he's just maybe the first
Superhero.
superhero. But yeah, they have a number of fictional characters that are already on there.
I didn't know that. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
then
me
it makes
either. I didn't know that
sense,
either.
especially Disney or Mickey Mouse makes sense. Kermit makes sense. I guess Batman would make sense too.
Never a fan of Mickey Mouse. I
Like
couldn't
they
stand
even
Mickey
have
Mouse.
Godzilla on there.
Okay, then that makes sense. That would makes a little more sense. But he is the first superhero.
Yeah, he'll be the first superhero. I think it's a good idea because what Batman did for like he was a lot of people's introduction to comics on TV. Cause like this is way before y'all's time, and I know I'm dating myself. There was like a live action Batman show with man, because he was on
I think I
Family
know what
Guy.
you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that one sucked. I'm
It was
sorry.
like the pow
Sucked.
and the bang and the bam and all that
Oh yeah,
stuff.
I
I
hated
know
that.
I know what you're
Like
talking
back
I
in the day.
hated that. No, that would like no.
Yeah. So like it was that one. But that was like the first time you saw Adam West. Yes, Adam West. That was the first time you ever saw that a comic book character on TV. And then like he was kind of the first one to kind of continue that cycle, when they started making the Batman cartoons. And then like you mentioned Barbecue was like the Michael Keaton Batman, then it was Val Kilmer and George Clooney, then we got Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson. So just with how much Batman cinema, I guess we can say, has been made, it makes sense.
about. Yeah, it makes sense now that I know that there were other fictional.
Characters.
I feel like
I mean, but
next
Mickey
up would be
Mouse is
probably
insane. I never
Superman.
liked Mickey Mouse. like Superman. I'm sorry. He's more of a people's champ to me than Batman.
I feel like Superman will be next though. The only problem I have with Superman is he's overpowered. Like
Didn't he want to like destroy everything at one point?
I think that was like an evil version of him. Because I know there's like different versions. There's like an evil version at some point. I think
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
I think they should make a show about Krypton. I want to know more about Krypton. They should make a show about that.
But I think Phil agrees with me. Like he's too overpowered. Like he's
Yeah.
immortal. He has super strength. He has laser vision, cooling breath, heat breath, and the only way to defeat him is a rare rock floating in space.
On his home planet. You have to go to his home planet to get
Well, his home
get
planet
that
is
rock.
destroyed.
Oh yeah. That is true, but didn't Batman have that in Batman versus Superman? I never watched that
I
movie.
never
I never
watched
got
it
around to
either.
watching the movie.
Some
Yeah.
kryptonite.
He had like a staff made out of kryptonite. I heard that movie wasn't even a. It was like they said that some of the movie was about them going one on one, but a lot of it had other superheroes that were in it and stuff. So it really wasn't truly a 1v1. That's what I heard. But yeah, I mean Superman. Shoot, then they got to put Flash on there. Then they got to put Flash on there. Flash is my guy. Man.
No, I would not put Flash.
I never liked
Why?
Flash.
No.
Why?
If are we only living in DC?
I'm talking about DC characters. I feel like Flash, as
They
far as
would
DC
probably
goes, Flash
put
is on there.
like they would probably put like Wonder Woman next
Yeah.
over the Flash.
I'm just saying for person, I would like
The
the
only
Flash on there. If they do villains, they got to put the Joker up there. They got to put the Joker up there.
the only Flash that I like was the TV show. Grant Gustin's version of
I
Flash.
just like the
That's the
character.
only Flash that I like. Every other version I don't like.
I like the Flash from
But
the last movie, but even besides all the shenanigans, he's still a good Flash. I mean, I don't think he's a bad
I
Flash.
can't. I'm never watching that movie. Not gonna go too deep into those details though. But
Yeah, they're probably not gonna do that just because of all the stuff.
yeah. Should have been Grant Gustin. Should have gotten replaced with.
I mean, didn't they say the same kind of stuff about that first Batman TV show about that Batman? They said the same type of stuff with him. He had some like behind the scenes crazy stuff.
Moving on.
I'm not gonna say what it was, but they did say,
I don't know what you're talking
I recently seen it on Instagram, so I don't know if it's real or not.
I don't know either.
about. But yeah, I feel like after Superman, either Wonder Woman, like Miss Dean said, or really I feel like Iron Man. Because he basically created the MCU. He was the first MCU like person to actually start it. Because I feel like his movie was first. It was either him or Captain America was first.
Iron Man was first. The first Marvel movies that was made were Blade, but they don't count it as part of the MCU. They kind of started adding it in now. But Iron Man was the first one.
Yeah, so I feel like he should be there, and especially with his ending in Endgame, like that was
He
impactful.
gave up his life for everybody. He had to save the world. Tony Stark.
Yeah,
I hate Iron Man. That's all
we
I
know
gotta
you
say.
do.
I hate Iron Man.
If it wasn't for Tony Stark, then what would have happened?
Nothing. The Avengers wouldn't have been created. Loki probably would have taken
I
over
can
New
live without. I
York.
can all honestly, I could live without the Avengers. I'm sorry. I would be cool with standalone movies for each of the superheroes. I don't really like the Avengers
But
like
they did
that,
have
but
them
yeah.
standalone besides like the ones like we didn't need a standalone Hawkeye movie.
I'm
Why
gonna
not?
I'm gonna
Hawkeye's an
argue with
Avenger.
you on that one. We needed a
Oh yeah,
standalone
you know he has a
Hawkeye
man crush
show.
on Hawkeye. He has a freaking
Okay,
man
so
crush
let
on
Hawkeye,
that
me.
guy.
So what? So we had the Hawkeye series
yeah,
that was on Disney Plus.
yeah.
Okay. Explain to me what benefit a Hawkeye movie would have given us
Hawkeye
to the MCU.
movie would have taken that show and just it would have been like a passing the torch moment. Like turn that into a movie. Like take it from the show. I haven't watched the full series, so I don't know really what happens at the end. But
Oh, you have to watch the whole series to understand.
but listen. Why don't we
No,
just take that
I feel
show
like
and just
everyone.
turn it into a movie?
I want to see it. I want to see an origin story for everybody.
So,
I'm sorry, I like origin stories.
so
So I
with the
would
series
go origin.
Barbecue, it wouldn't have fit. That movie wouldn't have fit in with the story of the Avengers, like when it happened.
Because it was after the Avengers.
Yeah, it would have had to be something different than the series
So we
if they
could
made a
do
movie.
because they really don't get into his origins like KD said. We could do like an origin story.
Exactly, an origin movie would be good.
Hey,
Well, the only reason why I said it because we know, unfortunately, Black Widow did not do well.
yeah,
Um, and I wonder if they made a decision, we're going to do this series because we're nervous about, for lack of a better term, a secondary level Avenger and Hawkeye maybe not doing as well. So we're going to make a series instead of a movie.
I mean, if that's the case, they could have made the series about his origin story then.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, we
at
still
that
would be
point they
playing
were
the story.
trying to connect the to the next movie.
yeah. That's a because it was a few years after Endgame. So they were
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, we need to start getting this train going again. We need to start with the next movie and
But
connecting everything
they can do like, I
again.
mean, they can kind of do like what Star Wars does. Not every single thing has to connect. Like the Han Solo movie had nothing to do with any other movies. It was a
Yeah, but
standalone.
that's
You
Star
don't have,
Wars.
I mean, that's a universe
Yeah,
too.
but
The Star Wars universe.
at
You
this
don't have to,
point,
you know,
because
everything.
Marvel has kind of set that precedence that you have to watch every movie and series to understand what's going on. They would have that would be like a big jump for them to be like, okay, you don't have to watch this one thing because like think about with Black Widow, not Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Vision, um, series. If you didn't watch that, this Agatha series makes no sense to you that they just released. And that was I forget how many years ago. Um, so it's going to be hard for them to start if they were to go that way, um, disconnecting things from each other because that was their whole premise. I think at this point it's gotten so intertwined that it's hard to know what happened when. You just know it happened somewhere in the MCU universe.
Yeah, and Marvel really popularized the whole connecting thing and making the whole thing a universe. So kind of like everyone expects it to connect. So like doing something that's totally different, they're gonna be like, wait, how does this connect? So
Because every movie's like, oh, do we have to stay for the 2 post-credit scenes?
exactly.
Or for the TV show, like you have to watch to the end of the credits because something in a credit, you may have a post-credit scene on a TV series that's going to connect back to the Doctor Strange movie that explains something that's going to now connect to the X-Men movies that they're going to start doing now, or it's a lot.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of duplicates, in my opinion. But yeah, Christian's gonna have to defend his man
I
crush
forgot
this
about
year.
Jeremy Renner. He's a fan of him. I just, me personally, I just didn't feel that he needed one. I thought the series was good. I watched the entire series, thought it was really good. But just for me personally, I didn't think he needed I didn't think we
Well,
needed a Hawkeye.
That's the
what they were planning on
that's
doing
how I feel
was
about John Wick.
basically passing the torch of Hawkeye to Kate.
Yes.
That's what they're planning on doing. And whenever the next Avengers movie comes in, I have a feeling that she's gonna play a role along with that girl from Black Panther and all the other
Yeah.
new Avengers.
It's the new Avengers now. Yeah, the old group is now kind of, besides, who's it, the new Captain America, also known as Falcon, like that. He's now because it's the new group. So like Kamala Khan and Cade and all those other ones who,
Survive.
because everybody else fighting the other world's problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to do this a while back on Disney XD with a group of it was an animated series with the new Avengers. That's I don't know if that's what it was called, but they did do this already with this same group. And it was a cartoon, but they ended up canceling it.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm hoping I cannot wait for Ironheart to come out to see who's gonna like fill in the role of Iron Man.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job with that in Black Panther. I was kind of disappointed.
I have a feeling it'll probably be either Piper or his daughter.
Yeah, I considered that after that when they did the whole thing with her in the Endgame, when they showed her, the whole 3000 thing and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
that would be a good idea. But I'm just wondering when they're going to get to that point, because like they're building everything up for Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And that's why so much push with the TVA and all these things. So I'm just wondering how they're going to make all that fit.
Yeah. I know they're supposed to be coming out with a Hawkeye season 2. That's what I've heard. So that has to fit in there somewhere. Like you said, Ironheart has to fit in there, and I feel like there's another TV show I'm missing that has to fit in there too. And then we got the new Captain America that's coming out next summer, I think. So that has to play a role in. Yeah, there's just a lot.
Okay, I have a question for y'all. Okay, you said everything has to connect, right? So when they made, I know the show didn't last long, but when they made Cloak and Dagger, that was
That's
a show where that wasn't a
technically
part of it.
that's technically a different universe, I believe. I don't think that's a part
Yeah,
of
I don't think it was actually in the MCU. Like there, so it's like, we got the Marvel universe, and we got the MCU universe. Yeah, it's a lot.
And I don't think the older X-Men are in the MCU technically, but whenever they come out with new ones, it will be.
Yeah, because like when they made
Like I said, too much
the
duplication.
Daredevil, series and when it was all that stuff, it wasn't necessarily tied to the MCU. But now they are trying to tie Daredevil into the MCU.
Yeah, that's why
Don't know how
that's why there's all these like repeat like Daredevil Born Again and I think a new Blade, they're coming out with
Yep.
that. That's going to be technically in the MCU. So they're just basically redoing everything to make it fit.
Yeah.
in the MCU in different timelines. That's the whole thing, kind of like with Secret Wars, because it's like they know now we're in different timeline. That's why all the magic stuff is coming in. With Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Agatha, it's and the TVA. So it's like now, okay, all this stuff is because we don't know what happened to the Scarlet Witch. We still don't know. We know she's not dead.
I don't know. I didn't watch the show.
No, this was in Doctor Strange. Because remember, that's who they were going after in Doctor Strange. We saw all these different versions of like the X-Men and all these different versions of Doctor Strange. And in the end, when she quote, unalived herself, but we know she didn't do that at the end of the movie. So, yeah.
It's
I also want to know: are they gonna do more incorporation with Professor Xavier's sister
The
from
X-Men.
Deadpool?
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that was weird.
Because apparently she's like the ruler over wherever they send like the people, the TVA sends the variants that they don't want no more. So
Well,
how's
didn't
she
she
gonna
But
be
see,
die?
that
in
was
there?
weird though. Because like on Loki, they sent them out there to that. You didn't see any of that. They were that monster. I think I forget what it was called. You saw that in Loki when they sent him out there. And that's why I was like, where is this random junkyard of people, mutants? And it was just weird. It's like all the mutants are over there and all the non-mutants are over here.
Yeah, because I believe what they're doing is because in the Loki show they call it a pruning. So I
Yes.
think all the old stuff, so like that didn't connect, like you saw the Fantastic Four car, and when not Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans reprised his role as Flame Guy.
Like, hmm
I feel like all that stuff is technically in that pruned world. I forgot what they call it. Pruned world. So they're technically all variants. I feel like that's what they're doing. Like all the stuff that it wasn't connected with the MCU is there. And then whenever they make stuff that's new, the new stuff that'll be actually in the universe. I feel like that's kind of the direction they're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. But she was a freaky character. Like it was just weird. She was weird. Like she was insane. You have your fingers in somebody's head. Like that's kind of weird.
Well, that was just, for the movie, they had to be a little dramatic.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna unless we see like a variant of her. I don't think we're gonna pretty much see her ever again.
That'd be a lot in a storyline to even add her in the X-Men storyline because there's enough going on in the X-Men storyline without her.
Yeah. I highly doubt that we'll see her again. Cause she died, I think, if I remember. So yeah, I don't think we'll see her again. Because I feel like they're already doing too much. Just adding another villain would just be like I already can't keep up as it is.
Yeah, well, they gotta add X-Men in because they do they are a part of the storyline. Storm and T'Challa were married at one point in the comics. So they are trying to connect those things, and just like they're in different universes, um, even in the comics. Like some universes have mutants while others don't.
Yeah. That's gonna be fun. I heard a statistic. It was like it was a while ago, so it's probably not updated. Like uh, the whole MCU takes like 175 hours to watch, or something like that. But that
Oh yeah,
was
it's even longer now.
yeah, what it's way longer now. But and it takes like a week to like rewatch everything.
They were saying at one point they were doing the thing where they were hiring people to watch all the movies and series in order. Um, I forget what the purpose was, but they were saying how many days that was going to take if you watched everything from starting from Iron Man 1. No, well, sorry, Captain America. Because in the order that it's supposed to be in, not necessarily the order that it was released.
I saw a lot. I have to watch. I haven't watched before I watched Deadpool Wolverine. The last new MCU movie I watched was the newest Spider-Man. So I got a lot to catch up on.
The what is it? No, Never Going Home, No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home.
What that mean?
That's I gotta watch because I'm catching up on Loki now. I
Season
gotta
1 or season 2?
I just started season 2.
Okay.
So I gotta watch Multiverse of Madness. Um, I watched uh I watched the Scarlet Witch Vision show.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that.
WandaVision. Mm-hmm.
WandaVision, yeah. I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. Um, and I got through like one episode of She-Hulk, and I was like, I can't get through this one.
Love She-Hulk.
Yeah,
I like that show.
I could not get through that one. And I think that's it.
Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
No.
Did you see Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania?
No. I haven't even watched the first Ant-Man Wasp.
Did you watch the Marvel?
No. Oh, the newest Thor. I watched that. I watched that one.
You watched Love and Thunder. Okay.
Yeah,
All
Love
right.
and Thunder. Which wasn't as bad as everyone
was the
said it
whole
was. It was not that
It was
bad.
a freaking joke. It was horrible.
It was not that bad.
I like the little
It was
girl.
horrible. I felt like we wasted our money going to see that in the theaters.
It wasn't terrible. It
Yeah,
wasn't
it was terrible.
peak MCU good, but it wasn't terrible.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
I like the little kids being fighters.
But yeah, everything else I didn't watch.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 to me was the best Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
liked it.
James
Yeah, I
Gunn
did.
did
I
that
like all
one
three.
too, right? Or did they not bring James Gunn back for that one?
I don't know. But it was good.
Oh no, they did bring him back for that one. But yeah, I haven't. I got a lot of catching up to do. It's the shows that kind of threw me off. I was like, do I really want to sink like 30 hours into this? Because every episode is like 30 minutes long. I'm like, but um, but yeah, it was the shows that kind of threw me off. I tried watching Echo. Echo. The first few episodes of Echo were good.
I think
I don't even watch. I didn't get through Echo either. I actually forgot about Echo. I watched
I
it.
think we
I don't
watched
know
the
how
first
many episodes I
episode.
watched.
I don't remember.
Because I feel like that Echo's gonna is kind of might set up the new Spider-Man with Kingpin and everything. Or no, it's gonna set up Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Because he's in that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's 5 episodes. That's not long.
All right. Let's go on to the next topic. Because we could talk about this for
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
hours. All right, last topic of the night. The Batman 2 begins filming next year. Script is complete. The first Batman I wasn't a fan of. I'm gonna be honest.
I wanted to throw myself off a building. I know you shouldn't say that, but that movie was so like depressing. I was depressed after watching that. That was the most depressing not building movie I've ever seen. Like, brother, that junk just no. I was like, no. I wanted to get up and leave, but I was on a date with a young lady, and that's rude. But yeah, I wanted to leave. I was like, please be over, please, 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 please. And I was like, thank God when it ended, because that movie was insane. That Twilight guy should stick to Twilight. Gosh,
Robert
no.
Pattinson.
I don't care what his name is. He just no. He's like that weird emo kid in class that be meowing at you and stuff and barking at you. That's the type of vibe I got from that Batman. Like, no. Like, it was like he was just missing the choker. Like that's what kind of vibe it gave. Like, it made Gotham seem so dark and depressing. Like, oh
Gotham
my,
is dark and depressing. It's depressing to live in
not that
Gotham.
dark and depressing.
There are
Oh,
maniacs on the streets regularly. People are dying and getting robbed, and they have an asylum that people escape from consistently.
I'm sorry. Hold on, let me see what I did to my boy.
Yeah,
Is it like
I
that?
wasn't a fan of that one. I mean, the cinematics were good. I feel like just
Okay, why can't I see Christian?
it was long too. It was like 3 hours long.
It's like 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was another thing. It was way too long.
Apparently, this next one is supposed to happen in the winter time. So, um, so yeah, it's supposed to be like winter time. So I don't know how they're gonna do that with the whole because when it ended, Gotham was flooded. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that'll all be cleaned up by
Watch
then
watch
or
Penguin. Watch the
That's what they're
Penguin.
gonna tie the penguin into it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the Penguin. Yeah. We watched that last night.
that's already
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, we
Premiered
watched it
yesterday.
last night. Yeah. But no, like Miss Dean, it's dark and it's like it's not that dark. Gotham is not that dark.
Gotham is a terrible place.
Like, if you go back and watch the Gotham TV show,
They tried
it
to
was not this
glamorize
dark.
it. If you read the comics and if you follow anything else, the people don't want to be in Gotham. The police aren't taking care of stuff. A man had to dress up as a bat and be a vigilante because that's just how terrible it is to live there.
Oh, but this like I'm sorry, like this was a depressing movie. I understand y'all want to make it a little dark vibe to it, but this was dark compared to the other Batman
The
movies. This was
people are
like,
in despair. Think about it. You have somebody like Scarecrow in the streets. You have the Joker in the street of Gotham with his group. You have Harley Quinn running around acting crazy. You got Two-Face, the Riddler. These people are stressed consistently. They have no hope. The only hope they have is Batman.
I mean, but still, like, goodness, like this Batman was for the emo kids. I'm sorry, this really was for the emo kids. Like, it's like no, it was just too emo to me. Like, no, I'm not even a fan of Batman, and I didn't. I was like, why did I pay my money for this movie? And then they drug it out too long too. That movie was entirely too long. Why do I keep doing that? What's my impression that does that? Oh, guys' spaces. I got to. I can't just see. I can't just hear your voice because then I'm gonna think I'm hearing voices again. But anyway, it was a joke. That was a joke, guys. That was a joke. It was a joke.
Okay. I mean, since
But yeah,
you do like
that
a
movie
cult
was drug
leader
out too long.
as a villain, so
Joker is not a cult leader.
Not
He
doing
didn't
this
force
again.
these people.
We're not doing this again. We're not doing this
He
again.
didn't force these people. He did not.
They don't do that
Based
anyway.
off based off the movies, based off the current movies, if that's what they're trying to do, give him a new story after all the other new stories they gave him. If this is the story you're sticking to with these two movies, he didn't say, "Hey, come along, people." No, they flocked to him.
That's that's
They
that's what
started a
happens in a
fan club.
cult.
Huh?
That's what happens.
No, he didn't encourage them to come to him. He did not. He didn't do any of this.
He didn't do anything.
No, he didn't do nothing to say, "Hey, come on, join me." He wasn't asking people to join him.
They don't ask
He was
people to
just
join them.
don't they recruit people into cults?
Not necessarily.
You don't think the Joker is a cult leader? He's not a cult leader. I'm
He
sorry.
he is an organized crime leader. How about that?
I'll go with that because technically the Joker was supposed to be a comedian for the mob, anyways, in one of his many stories.
Yeah, but he's insane. So we really can't. Yeah, he has a lot of problems. My favorite Joker is Jack Nicholson personally, but the original outside of the TV show.
Yeah, the only thing I liked about the Batman was the different villains. Like we didn't get, I mean, we got Joker obviously at the end, but we didn't get like the same villains that we see every time. I think we got Scarecrow. I believe there was oh no, it was Riddler. Never mind. We only probably saw Riddler like once, and that was in like the 80s.
And you've seen him in the Gotham TV show.
I'm talking about from movies.
He was in the 90s when it was Jim
90s?
Carrey, Riddler.
So
Yeah.
90s. Yeah, so glad we got to see a different version of the Riddler. And
me personally, I like the Gotham's version of the Riddler. Now everybody else is kind of, I don't know. I'll say with the Gotham, they kind of got confused with a lot of those villains, in my opinion, because they were saying the person that was the Joker wasn't the Joker, and they were just confused, like they really were. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't go watch the second one. I'm sorry, I hated that movie.
I heard they're gonna bring out Hush, which is in the comics he's supposed to be like a someone who wants to copy Batman or something like, and he even like gets plastic surgery to look like Batman. So I heard they're gonna add him, so I'm excited for that. But the movie as a whole, I don't know. I'll probably wait for it to come out on streaming.
That movie sucked. All
It
it was
wasn't
missing was
terrible. It just
"Mom, leave me alone. I want to be famous." Like that's what type of vibe it gave me. That whole movie, that whole
it
emo
wasn't
look. That's what that gave.
terrible. It just wasn't as good as everyone hyped it up to be.
But it was but it also was a new, I guess, way to portray Batman.
Yeah,
They did a horrible job.
I do like to see how different directors do that, like portray Batman. Like
This
Nolan's
director's fault.
Batman
He should be
was
fired.
like if a normal human being was Batman. Because I think at the end of the Nolan trilogy, he actually retired because it was putting so much on his body. And this one was kind of like a darker inspiration of Batman, interpretation of Batman.
Exactly, for the emo kids. I hated this movie. I wanted to bang my head against the wall. I hated this movie. I just really hated this movie. Like if I literally said during this movie, if the director was here, I would slap him in the face and walk off because that's how
That's
much I
aggressive.
hated that movie.
Aggressive.
You said what?
Then that's aggressive.
I hated that movie. Come on, and it was too long. Like, let's just talk about something else. I hated that movie.
That was the last of the topics. So you're
Oh,
free now.
you didn't see the Penguin show, so I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, you should see it. It's not bad.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's another thing I'll have to add to my watch list.
It's okay. Some college kids watch stuff, while they're supposed to be studying.
I don't. I just listen to music and I just listen to music, turn on Photomath for my math work, and that's it.
Yeah, Miss Dean. I know Miss Dean didn't do it because she's kind of a nerd. Don't tell her I told you that. She's kind of she probably doesn't even listen to music while she's studying. But yeah. But anyways, yeah.
I did
Cool.
actually have to watch Revenge of the Sith for a assignment I had to do for film. So I do watch stuff sometimes whenever I'm.
Oh, cool.
So. Well, all right. Well, that's it
Okay.
for tonight. We'll see you all next week.